So, good morning, children. Let's start our new lesson, that is respiration in organisms. So, respiration in organisms. What is mean by respiration? So, let's see in this lesson what is mean by respiration, site of respiration, types of respiration, breathing, and respiration in other organisms. So, let's see that. First, let's see what is mean by respiration. Respiration is the biological process in which food is utilized to produce energy is called respiration. That is, you see, we all will take food, okay, we all will eat food, let it be any kind, but we all will eat food, okay. From food, what will happen to the food means, from food energy should be produced, okay. So how the energy is produced means, that process is known as respiration, okay. So the biological process in which food is utilized to produce energy is called respiration, okay. So respiration is necessary for survival of living beings. That means for survival we require respiration. How means, see, we are all are living. For living, that is survival, we require production of the energy. From where we are getting energy means by eating the food. How the food is converted into the energy means by the process called respiration, food is converted into the energy. That's why respiration is necessary for survival of the living beings. A living being cannot survive even for a few seconds without respiration. It is true. So without respiring we cannot live. That means without energy we cannot perform any of the work, and without respiration energy is not produced. That's why without respiration even few seconds also we cannot survive. During respiration it is mainly the carbohydrate, that means the food here we are saying carbohydrate which is oxidized to produce energy. That means the food which we are taking, carbohydrate, it will be oxidized. So you remember here the word oxidized, okay. So what is oxidation we will see later. Oxidized to produce energy, and this can be shown by the following equation. So what is the equation is, carbohydrate plus oxygen, it gives carbon dioxide, water and energy, or we can say C6H12O6. C6H12O6 is carbohydrate plus O2 is oxygen, here balanced, okay, 6O2, okay. So O2 is oxygen, carbohydrate plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide CO2 plus water H2O plus energy will give, okay. H2O is water, okay. So here balance, for balancing I am writing here 6O2 plus 6CO2 plus 6H2O, okay. So the equation is C6H12O6 plus 6O2 gives 6CO2 plus 6H2O plus energy, okay. This is respiration. Now let's see site of respiration. Where does this respiration occur? Respiration happens inside the cell, okay. As respiration happens inside the cell, it is called cellular respiration, okay. So what are the sites of respiration means, types, not types, site of respiration means respiration happens inside the cell only, okay, not outside the cell. Inside the cell if it happens, then it is called cellular respiration. And cell organelles which perform is mitochondria. Here energy will be produced, okay. In mitochondria energy will be produced. That's why they are known as the powerhouse of the cell. That means now the food which I am eating, it will be digested and energy will be absorbed through the walls of intestine. From there it will be given to the each and every cell. In each and every cell organelles, mitochondria is present. So this mitochondria, what will happen means, it will oxidize that digested food and it will produce the energy, okay. Once again I am repeating. So the food which we eat, it will enters to the, that means digestion will starts in the mouth and ends in the intestine, okay. So when it enters to the intestine, digestion will be completed. So the digested food will be absorbed by the walls of the intestine. From there it will be given to the all the cells, each and every cell. Inside the cell it is containing cell organelles. So this cell organelles, inside the cell organelles what will happen means, it will contain mitochondria and inside the mitochondria, the digested food, it will be oxidized and it will give energy. Okay. Now, types of respiration. There are types of respirations are there. Two types of respiration are there. What are the two types? One is aerobic respiration, another one is anaerobic respiration. Okay. So what is aerobic respiration? Let's see. Aerobic respiration means respiration takes place in the presence of oxygen is known as aerobic respiration. That means, once again, you may get the doubt. That is, respiration means breathing. I am taking in oxygen. That's what I am calling respiration. Means it is not respiration. Okay. Taking in of oxygen, that is different process. Okay. That one is inhalation. That is breathing. Okay. But in case of respiration, it will take place in the presence of oxygen. At the same time, in the absence of oxygen also will take place. Okay. If the respiration takes place in the presence of oxygen, such type of respiration we are calling as aerobic respiration. Carbon dioxide and water are the end products of aerobic respiration. Okay. So what are the end products of aerobic respiration is carbon dioxide and water are the end products of aerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration happens in most of the organisms. The equation of this aerobic respiration is glucose. Here aerobic respiration means in the presence of oxygen only. Okay, that's why I am not adding here oxygen. Glucose in the presence of oxygen, it gives carbon dioxide, water and energy. Okay, here amount of energy produced will be more in case of aerobic respiration. So another type of respiration is anaerobic respiration. So what is this anaerobic respiration is? Anaerobic respiration takes place in the absence of oxygen. Aerobic respiration takes place in the presence of oxygen. Anaerobic respiration takes place in the absence of oxygen. Anaerobic respiration usually happens in most of the microorganisms. Okay, aerobic respiration happens in most of the organisms. At the same time, anaerobic respiration usually happens in most of the microorganisms. Okay, microbes. Alcohol and carbon dioxide are formed at the end of the anaerobic respiration. In case of aerobic respiration, energy is produced, and in case of anaerobic respiration, alcohol and carbon dioxide is produced in anaerobic respiration. In some cases, lactic acid is formed at the end of anaerobic respiration, and equation of anaerobic respiration can be written as glucose in the absence of oxygen gives alcohol plus carbon dioxide plus energy, and the produced energy will be less amount. Now again, or we can say that glucose in the absence of oxygen, it gives lactic acid plus energy. Okay, once again I am repeating, the produced energy in anaerobic respiration is less and the energy produced in aerobic respiration is more. Anaerobic respiration also happens in our muscle cells. When someone runs or walks too fast, one may feel a throbbing pain in calf muscles. This happens because of deposition of lactic acid produced by anaerobic respiration. Once the person takes rest for some time, the pain goes away. So what is it stating is anaerobic respiration, it will happen in our muscle cells also. So example is, see, when someone runs fast or walks fast, or when we lifts or when we do high work, that means when we lift high amount of weight, what we will feel means cramps in the muscle cells. Okay, that means pain in the muscle cells or pain in the muscles of, that is calf muscles, that means which is present in the leg. Why this will happen means this happens due to the deposition of lactic acid in this muscle cells. Muscle means it is made up of cell. So when the high amount of energy is required or when the energy is required more, then what will happen means, so these cells, it will go for anaerobic respiration also. Okay, the energy produced by aerobic respiration is not sufficient. In such case, what will happen means these muscles will start producing energy with anaerobic respiration. Why it will be means, see, now I am taking oxygen. Okay, by that oxygen, by aerobic respiration, cells will produce energy. That energy is not sufficient, and for producing more energy, the oxygen which I am breathing, it is also not sufficient. In such case, energy is needed. What will happen means in such case, our muscle cells will go for anaerobic respiration. So with that anaerobic respiration, what will happen means deposition of lactic acid will take place. So end product of anaerobic respiration is lactic acid. So the produced lactic acid decomposition will be there. Energy also produced, but energy is utilized. Remaining lactic acid is there. So that lactic acid is deposited in the muscle cells. Now how to remove this lactic acid means, if we take rest for some time, what will happen? The lactic acid which is deposited, it will be utilized. So now we will get relief. Okay, that is anaerobic respiration. Now let's come to the process breathing. In the starting I told respiration is different, breathing also different. Now let's come to the process breathing. What is breathing is? Breathing is the process of taking in and giving out air. For respiration is called breathing. That means respiration is cellular. Coming to breathing, okay, exchange of gases. That means now I will take some gas in and I will give out some gas. That means I will take in oxygen and I will give out carbon dioxide. We are saying in our general language. So the process of taking and giving out of air for respiration is called breathing. Breathing involves two main steps. Okay, breathing involves two main steps. What are the two main steps is? Inhalation and exhalation. What is inhalation and what is exhalation? What is inhalation and what is exhalation is, so we take in or we breathe in the air which is rich in oxygen and we give out the air which is rich in carbon dioxide. Okay, so taking in of air which is rich in oxygen is known as inhalation, and giving out the air which is rich in carbon dioxide or giving out of air is known as exhalation. Now coming to rate of breathing. What is meant by rate of breathing? When we are doing normal activities, the rate of breathing is normal, but the rate of breathing increases when we do strenuous physical works. That means which involves like now normal, when we are normal, if you see our breathing rate, it will be normal only because our body requires less amount of energy only. But when we are doing some work, that is physical work, some of the physical works, at that time our body requires more energy. So what we will do means we will breathe more number. That means for fulfilling the requirement of oxygen, we will breathe faster. At that time the rate of breathing will be more. So what are the processes like swimming, jogging, running, etc.? In such process it requires more amount of energy. So at the time the rate of breathing also increases. So the process of breathing, how the process of breathing takes place is, the breathing is controlled by the movement of diaphragm. So what is diaphragm is? Diaphragm is a membrane which is between the chest and abdomen. The movement of diaphragm is controlled by a group of muscles called interstices muscles. Interstices muscles. When the diaphragm moves down, the ribcage expands. This leads to the expansion inside the lungs. As a result, the air moves into the lungs. This process is called inspiration or inhalation. When the diaphragm moves down, the ribcage contracts. This leads to the contraction of the lungs. As a result, the air moves out of the lungs. This process is called expiration or exhalation. So here see, for example, I am saying this is esophagus. This is esophagus and this is chest. Here it is diaphragm. This is diaphragm. Okay, so the air which comes from esophagus, okay, inside the chest, lungs is present, it will enters to the chest. Okay, in that case what will happen means this diaphragm, it will increases its size. This diaphragm size will be increased. Then the rib cage which is present in the chest, it will increase its size. Rib cage size will be increased. So now lungs inside the chest, its size also will be increased. Now abdomen size will be decreased. Okay, diaphragm is increased, expanded. Okay, So now what will happen from esophagus? Air will move into the lungs. That process we are calling as inhalation. Okay. Now the expanded diaphragm, it will contract. That means it will decrease its size. In such case, what will happen means the expanded ribs also will decreases its size. Now what will happen? The air from lungs will move into the esophagus. Outside it will come out. That process we are calling as exhalation. Okay. This is the process how breathing will takes place. Okay. Process of breathing involves two steps. Okay. That is inhalation and exhalation. Once again I am repeating. See, air from esophagus. Okay. It will when it enters to the chest, diaphragm size, its size will increase. Now the ribs which is present in the chest, it also will be expanded. Now what will happen means chest ribs expanded, lungs also will be expanded, or the air from the esophagus will enter into the lungs. Okay. Now when the diaphragm size is expanded means it will not stay in that same position only. No, if we stretch a rubber band, it will not stay in the same position. It will comes back to its original position. No, same way here also the expanded diaphragm, it will contract. In such cases ribs also will be contract. Then the air from the lungs, it will comes out. That process we are calling as exhalation. So now let's see some more experiments, activities to show that carbon dioxide is released during exhalation. Okay. So we know that we are saying that we are taking in oxygen and we are giving out carbon dioxide. Okay. So just general we are saying, but how can you prove that the gas or the air which you are giving out, it is containing carbon dioxide? So let's do the activity to prove that carbon dioxide is released during exhalation. So we know carbon dioxide, it reacts with lime water to make calcium carbonate. Okay. This property is utilized to show the evolution of carbon dioxide. During respiration, carbon dioxide is evolved. For showing that, we will use this property, that is carbon dioxide converts the lime water into calcium carbonate. Okay. So for this, take a test tube and pour some lime water in it. Dip a drinking straw in the test tube. Blow air in the lime water through the drinking straw. It is observed that the lime water turns milky. This shows that carbon dioxide is released during exhalation. That means now you take one test tube. In the test tube, take some lime water. So dip the drinking straw in the test tube and through the straw you blow some air into the test tube. You can see that the lime water turns milky white. Okay, normally lime water is white only, but it is not milky white. When you blow air in the lime water, the color of the lime water turns milky white. This shows that carbon dioxide is released during exhalation. So now breathing in other animals. So till now we studied in humans. Let's see breathing in other animals also. Animals which belong to amphibia, reptilian and aves and mammalia use the lungs for breathing. Amphibians at the same, that means see like reptiles, mammals, that means mammals means animals, again birds, reptiles, they all will use lungs for breathing. At the same time amphibians, they can live both in air and that means on the land and in water also. At the same time they can breathe through lungs and they can breathe through their skin also. Okay, so when it is inside the water, it cannot breathe through the lungs. So what will happen means it will breathe through the skin when it is in water. When it is on the land, it will breathe through lungs. Now coming to some other animals. Smaller animals have different organs for breathing. All animals will not breathe through lungs. Some smaller animals also is there. It is having different organs for breathing. That is breathing in fish. How fishes breathe means fish will have a pair of gills, and we all know fish will live in water and gills are present. So through its gills it will breathe. What it will breathe means the air which is dissolved in water, it will breathe that air through the gills. Breathing in cockroach. Cockroach and other insects breathe through organs, small pores called spiracles. So there is a network of halo tubes running through the body of an insect, which is known as trachea. These halo tubes are called trachea. Each trachea opens on the body surface in the form of small pore known as spiracle. That means if you see cockroach, okay, on the surface of the cockroach, it will contains small tiny pores. Each pore is known as spiracle, and each spiracle is connected through a network of halo tubes known as trachea. Like, see, if you see, this is cockroach body surface. This is the surface of cockroach, okay, body surface. Now body surface, it will contains small openings known as spiracles. Okay, so these spiracles are connected through a long halo tubes like structures. See, this halo tube like structure is known as trachea. Okay, now you understood what is spiracle and what is trachea and which is in cockroach. Okay, now let's see in some more animals, like breathing in earthworm. Okay, earthworm breathes air through their skin. Earthworm will breathe through their skin. The skin of earthworm always remain moist. Okay, if you see the earthworm, its skin will be always moist only, which helps in breathing. Okay, breathing in animals, unicellular animals, is the cell organelle which help, or the organelle which help the unicellular organisms for breathing is its cell membrane. Okay, now let's see breathing in plants. How the plants will breathe means, plants can be various sizes. That means they may be very small or very big. Developing respiratory organs could not be fruitful solution for plants because of their unlimited growth. Each plant part breathes through their external layer of cells. Roots breathe through root hairs, stems breathe through epidermis, leaves have numerous small pores called stomata for breathing. So this is the completion of lesson respiration in organisms.